Today we will discuss the issue of a frontal gun threat, and we will try to compare the method of Russian special forces with different Israeli methods. When I personally found a big difference mainly in the perception of the problem and what is meant. The philosophy of different Israeli methods on a similar subject. Admittedly, the tactical application of this concept is very different. And what is meant? Philosophically, it is necessary to reduce the range of the barrel until it touches it in order to neutralize the threat of the gun. In the Russian method, the neutralization, according to what I have seen in a number of videos in which they use the Russian method and not the approach of Israeli methods, is on the contrary a neutralization of the threat from a distance. I do not judge one approach or another, I intend to present them to you, and you tell me in your comments to this video what you would really use in times of need. I must point out that the threat of a gun is different from the intention of murdering that person. If the attacker wanted to murder, he would do it from a long distance. This means that one of these intends to rob, rape, commit a kidnapping, etc. And most approaches in the world alike claim, in these moments, not to be Rambo and to give everything the attacker demands. There are even those who say to run away. And of course, it's impossible, the bullet is faster. I won't bore you with talk, so let's start the analysis. Stay with me with you Gil Pelig from the Fitness Warriors Club, and enjoy watching. Let's start our analysis on the subject of a frontal gun threat with Russian approaches. In the first stage, we will refer to a Russian approach that is very similar to an old Israeli approach. Pay attention. I translate the words of this manual. In self-defense against a frontal gun threat, it is recommended to turn the barrel aside and grip the barrel, firmly. He claims that no gun is capable of firing when its barrel is gripped in this way. Above is an experiment of off-pro, and it can be seen that the victim in 50% of the cases was injured. I mean, first of all, his claim is incorrect. Secondly, through the experiment, it turned out that by using a double action on the trigger, it is possible to slow down the timing of the bullet's ejection. It is clear that the operation was performed by a super expert. As a result, he managed to avoid being hit by a bullet from the gun. This event is still considered less realistic because the attacker does not move and does not move his gun. Later in the video, we will refer to this. In the second case, when the gun is attached to the front of the head, the approach of off-pro in their experiment was the same as in the first case. The impact of the bullet was prevented only when a double action was performed together with the shift of the gun barrel up. As you can see in the video of off-pro, in contrast to the video of the Russians, a movement of the head to the side was performed together with a catch of the trigger behind the gun. And again, this is an experiment under laboratory conditions, when the attacker does not move and does not move the barrel of the gun. When a net Russian method is very different from an Israeli approach. What I was able to see is that there is no issue at all with reducing the range of the barrel of the gun. I couldn't understand if the attacker is a puppet or if he really means to threaten with the gun. In the videos of special forces in Russia, two former special forces fighters in Russia are shown. When the first uses the technique of discharging a gun, as if it were a knife. I mean, if the attacker comes to kill him, then he's already dead. If he comes to demand something from him, then where is the negotiation part? That is, a psychological game as is customary in Israeli fighting methods. That is a distraction to something else to counterattack. Let's focus on the speed of the execution. As you can see in the videos of off-pro, even in the short range a fighter is not enough to tilt the gun and is hit by a shot in 50% of the cases. And what is shown through the Russian experts is much slower. Only because the basics of distance and psychological preparation before a counterattack are missing. Later we will see how the Israeli KALAH method deals with this problem.
Okay, so now we're getting to, again, gun defense from the front, but now we're adding a little bit of a worst case situation. So it doesn't matter if he's grabbing me or holding me, it doesn't matter, this is not the problem at the moment. There's a gun in the hand, it's got the finger on the trigger that will shoot everyone and me. So now we're not talking about a gun static. So in the previous video you saw of the gun being static. This is where you need to understand where reality comes in. This gun will not be static forever. It's not something like he's putting it there and then he's asking for my money until it doesn't work like that. Maybe this is a 2-second window. That is gun defense static. Gun defense moving is when it's never static. It's not arriving for me to have a situation where I can physically get my hands on the gun. Because believe it or not, the situation, if he's moving the gun just a little bit, even from this distance, to grab this it's bullshit, to be honest. It's not going to work in reality. So when we deal with this situation, we want to close the distance, not for the pulling to happen, number one, of course. And number two, this bullet that's going to come out, I don't want this to arrive anywhere close to my face. Not even in my face, not even somewhere close to my face. So I need to make sure that I move forward out of the line of fire. So I'll use my arm and I'll use, of course, my body. I'm not relying on him to move. I'm not moving just the gun and expecting him to move. I'm moving myself, always. So, of course, submit as much as you can. Get your hands up where you can protect yourself, not for this gun to smash your face off. I protect myself as much as I can. He's moving the gun because he wants something. I want to move forward out of the line of fire. And when I see my opportunity to move the gun and move myself in, again arriving under the arm and over the arm with the other hand. Again, moving in and shifting so that this gun doesn't manipulate to my body when I have the control. Okay, yes, your kicks, yes, this and that. Always think worst case scenario. So again, then from the position where you're in your control, I need to understand that I'm dealing with a mindset, which is the problem. I'll secure the gun and start to fight and try not to take this arm out to give damage and because I'm dealing with a hot weapon. I want to keep my hand in as much as I can to secure the pulling. Damage, headbutt, and again taking down, rotating in my same control that I was, moving. Can do damage, but better for you just to quickly move, take the gun in when it's out and use it to control the situation as best possible. Okay, let's see that when you understand when the gun is moving, it's not something very easy to deal with. You need to wait for your opportunity. So we'll see this full speed. Please.
Don't make it simple. Just it. Just it.
I'm sorry. Stay right here.
Where's your fucking money? I don't have money. Okay, show me your pockets. Empty your pockets. I'm going to fucking go. Okay.
I can't take
fucking shoot you, motherfucker. Come on, show me your fucking.
Drop the gun. Stand up! On your face. Okay. KALAH system. God bless you.
Dear friends, thank you for listening. If you liked our video, please subscribe to our channel and ring the bell below to get an update on our new posts.